Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going through a list that I recently made with the Imposter Avatar from Gothic, playing water and fire. I'll start by reading the avatar. So normal ability, tap, play, draw a sight. Other than that, you can pay 3, banish an avatar from a collection to mask yourself, gain their abilities until damage or until you put on a new mask. So not having to tap is pretty good already. So we'll go over the collection just so you know what mask the imposter can wear. So we have Archimago. So Archimago is probably a mask you want to have towards the late game when you can copy several spells. If you really need to, banish a minion with disintegrate or cast more card with the gift, frog or serpent. Yeah, so this is more towards the late game. So is Flamecaller when your cemetery is full of 3 fire threshold minion, and then you just out of the blue turn into a Flamecaller and send a massive fireball in your opponent's face. Really strong. Interrogator is one of those masks that you can have early on in the game, threatening to progress towards your enemy avatar, and then give them the choice, which in most cases you will just draw a card. So yeah, towards early game, I say. So is Pathfinder. So Pathfinder is the first mask you want to wear when you play Imposter. You get to ramp and draw a spell. So you want to start with this avatar. And Sorcerer can be played at any time of the game, but I really like to go Pathfinder, and then once I ramp to 6 or 7 sight, I know it's quite a bit, but that deck is really mana hungry, and then you just refill your hand with Sorcerer for maybe 2 to 3 turns, and then you start thinking how you can finish your opponent with either Archimago, doubling, like Flame Waves, and then you get Archimago to recast Flame Waves, or disintegrate, or all those sort of really powerful spells. And we'll start going through the list. We'll start with the auras. So Jihad, don't think I need to introduce Jihad to anyone at this point. One of the best fire card made in Sorcery. Unique aura, may summon fire minions to affected sites. So it's cast on basically 4 sites, so you've got 4 options. Light fire minions occupying affected sites have +1 power. Nice little power bonus as well. Really strong card. Acts as a backdoor in your opponent realm. Very good. Next aura is Atlantean Fate. Cost 5, unique aura. Affected non-ordinary sites are flooded. There are water sites, only provide water threshold, and lose all other abilities. So non-ordinary site is very important because you won't hit all 4 sets that you target your aura with, but you will most likely at least get 1 or 2. Genesis, submerge all minions and artifacts atop affected sites. So obviously really strong as well. Moving on to the artifacts, we've got the Ring of Morrigan. Obviously really strong. Unique relic, bearer, as whenever this unit casts a spell that may deal 1 damage to target nearby unit, to have you gain 1 life. So the really good thing about the ring now is that it targets, so wards are popping off because of this, and you can also gain your life as well, but the fact that it targets is making it even stronger than it was in Arthurian Legends. Another artifact is the Trinket, Tor Shaman Trinket. Exceptional relic, bearer as +1 power. At the end of your turn, return this to its owner end. Really strong trinket, really hard to get rid of for your opponent as well. Recently came across someone that played the trinket and then played swap and then swap for my ring. I was gobsmacked, and it's something you really need to try to do as well. If you play a water and swap, have a trinket there. You can always swap it for something that is way more potent. We'll keep going on the artifacts. Next up, we've got 4 Waters of Paradise, unique relic. It reads, sacrifice 4 waters. This turn, bear the next elemental spell, requires no threshold and costs 4 less to cast. It's in this list because we have a lot of big cost minion, like big powerful minions. You got the Green Knight, you know, 3 threshold, Hellstar, 3 threshold, Mother Nature, 3 threshold, so on and so forth. I haven't got to play the card yet in that list, but I'm pretty sure it'll stay in there. It's really strong. It helps you to cast these big minions early and put a big threat on the board. Next up, we've got Silver Bullet. Obviously, you need some sort of a collection tutor in your list. It is just very strong. So I chose to put only Silver Bullet, no ordinary in my collection. And Silver Bullet is basically made to go and fetch Searing Truth, which is a finisher in this deck. If you have your opponent on death door, this is a guarantee win. So this is why we have a Silver Bullet in there. Next up, we have Tabula Rasa, unique armor, may be cast to any minion, bearer is silenced, can't be modified otherwise, and can't drop Tabula Rasa. So basically, you put that onto your opponent minion and it's just disabled and silenced, and then really can't do much with it. It can, you know, being shapeshift or sacrifice eventually, but yeah, really strong 2 cost artifact. And I also put the Spare of Destiny. So Spare of Destiny in this list is pretty decent because we have a lot of mobility, you know, with the Pathfinder Avatar being in the collection. So obviously, you know, you got a free movement with that. You've got the Raiders as well, which can be cast on enemy sites, and it's really strong with the spear, so your opponent doesn't necessarily pick it up. We have some Void Walk in the sense of Lucid Dreamer as well, so you can get a bit closer from where your spear ended up. And this is a guaranteed kill as well, so it's worth running if you have something like really threatening, like Lilith or anything like this, and you need to get rid of it ASAP. Really strong overall. Now the minions. We have 28 minions in this list. Start with Rasputin, unique mortal, spellcaster, banish an evil ally, cast Rasputin from his cemetery to there. He adds their powers and ability to his own until he dies again. Obviously really strong minion. Situational as well. It depends if you really want to banish your own minion to bring him back. It's worth playing him early in the game so you can start getting rid of, you know, minions that have done their job basically. Let's say if Morgana played her 3 spells, or you know, the kobolds are not really nowhere near anyone, which qualifies as evil. The snail, you know, all these minions that have one job and they've done it, you can basically recycle them with Rasputin. Next up, Hemogoblin, elite fairy with a peculiar palette. It reads, Genesis and Death Right set players maximum life to their current life. It's really good when you have avatar like Savior that will play Divine Healing and all that sort of stuff. If you don't have your River of Blood out, this could be a good way to suppress healing. Ring of Morrigan can be dampened as well with the Hemogoblin. All around very good minion. Moving on to Lucid Dreamers. So Lucid Dreamers, they are in there because Voidwalk got a lot of support in Gothic, and it's really strong. Basically, the fact you can cast your minion on the other side of the realm next to someone's sites, or minion possibly, is already very strong. And then these Lucid Dreamers have another ability on top, which is you may cast minions to this void, granting them Void Walk until they're no longer in the void. So it is a summoning sphere slapped on the minion basically, which as you can imagine is extremely powerful. So really like that card. We have two polar explorers as well. A bit similar than the Dreamers. It's all about mobility and then building up on your back row if you want to attack opponent's avatar if it doesn't really move. Like, I know Sorcerer don't necessarily need to move around in the round and stuff like this, so Polar Explorer really helps reaching your opponent avatar and go face. We also have Ano, which is a little similar than Polar Explorer and Ruler of Thule in a sense that at the end of the turn, Ano may take a step between the top and bottom edges of the realm to gain stealth. So she gains stealth additionally, which make her really hard to hit. Basically, she can't be targeted. If you don't attack with her, she'll basically stay stealthy. And yeah, this is a really powerful minion as well. Really does the job for me. Next up we have Koinixie, so two Koinixie in there. One of the minions that got a big boost in Gothic. Exceptional Merfolk, has Submerge, and once on your turn, Koinixie may force target nearby enemy to take a step towards her. Tap that enemy if it is untapped. So there is a sort of combo with Sin Ice as well. So if you play Koinixie on Sin Ice and then drag another minion, let's say another 3 power minion, will go up to 5, go through the Thin Ice, submerge the minion, and then the Koinixie having submerged will survive. Really strong. We have the Logbot Cat as well. One exceptional beast, cast can and must be cast to any water site. So this is a 3 cost minion for 4 power. Really good as well. Not much else to say about the cat. This is played a lot. We have Morgana Le Fay as well. Unique mortal, spellcaster, and has stealth. Genesis, Morgana draws her own end of 3 spells which only she can cast. Having access to an extra 3 cards when you play a minion is extremely strong. Doesn't need to be you know, a decent powered minion. It's just really strong. Having access to more cards is always good in trading card games. We also have 2 kobolds. No need to explain the kobolds at this point. I think everyone knows what they do. A simulator snail, so this is a new one for me. Elite monsters, 4 cost, 2 threshold, 2 water threshold, 0 power. Once on your turn, you may banish a dead minion. A simulator snail becomes a copy of that minion until your next turn. So that snail is basically in there to copy Lilith, could copy the Lord of Lies as well for, you know, his effect, which is once on your turn. Doesn't necessarily have, you know, start of your turn, it's just once on your turn, so it's perfect. Could copy the Hailstar as well, which was pretty nasty. It also can copy the Raiders. Having charge is really strong. You can get another extra 3 damage in your opponent's face. You could also copy the Raiders and then get an extra 3 damage in your opponent's face. Really like that snail. I played it a couple of times already, and it's definitely not a dead draw. So we'll see on the long run if it's still relevant. Also have Boudica. So Boudica is a must-have in any fire deck at this point. This is just so strong. Giving plus 3 power to a minion is busted basically. Ruler of Thule, so same as Ano and Polar Explorer, you build on your back row and attack your opponent, crossing the realm from bottom to top. Really good. Raiders having charge, being relevant. Cast to any site without enemy. Can work if you throw your Spear of the Destiny, grab it again. I really like that one. I put Asmodeus as well. So Asmodeus has stealth, and if you break his stealth, it destroys everything else is there, including this site. So I like Asmodeus for the site destruction. He can make his way onto problematic sight stealthily because it has stealth, so it can be targeted with, you know, location spell like minor explosion still, but it usually doesn't have to worry about projectiles and stuff like this. And yeah, it can just make his way to a problematic site from your opponent and then destroy it eventually. It's a decent minion. It might be a bit too expensive for what it does, but time will tell. 2 Lacuna Entity, I really like that minion. It is a 5 cost minion, 3 threshold, so quite heavy, 4 power. It has Submerge and Void Walk, and his Genesis ability reads drag target weak minion from and that is Aegis and Sap. So Lacuna Entity, really like the minion. 5 cost, 3 threshold, 4 power. It has Submerge, Void Walk, and his Genesis ability reads drag target weaker minion from an adjacent site to here, ignoring regions. So you can basically drag an opponent weaker minion in the void. So really strong. Okay, next up we have Lilith. Unique Demon, 5 cost, 3 threshold, 3 power. At the end of your turn, reveal the opponent's stop spells. If it's a minion, summon it here. Otherwise, put it at the bottom of the deck. This is strong, like free minion from your opponent. This is really strong. Free minion from your opponent's decks as well is busted. You know, you can hit anything from, you know, root spiders to anything more relevant. It's really good. You get to take stuff out of your opponent's deck and then summon minion. Obviously, being for free is strong on its own. One of the best card in the deck for sure. Another good card is Maiden Mother Crone. 5 cost as well, 3 threshold, 3 power. So like Lilith. Unique Genesis ability, heal 3. You can pay 3 mana and draw a spell. Death Ride ability is opponent lose 3 life. Really good, a bit of a toolbox minion. Can get you to draw an extra card as well, and then healing 3 and inflicting 3 damage obviously is good. Moving on to Lord of Lies. So Lord of Lies is one of the prime target for the snail. Having that effect, having another 2 minion fight could possibly get rid of 2 minion, and having a big body because 6 power is no joke. This is one of the best minion in that list as well. Mother Nature, so a little bit of overlap effect with, you know, Lilith, and then Mother Nature, and then the snail. You basically get to have cards that give you a snowball advantage. So Mother Nature is at the start of your turn, so a little less powerful than Lilith, but still strong because it's on your deck basically. So if you have a way to manipulate your top deck, you know what's coming, and then you have Mother Nature here, basically you know what you're casting, and then you know you can prep yourself, you know, for the minion that's coming. So I really like Mother Nature. I haven't really played Mother Nature before because I think there was not really a good shell for it, but now with all those powerful minions that we got in Gothic and the heavy threshold and all of this is not really a problem anymore. Having a 3 threshold minion is not as scary as before to cast them in. So yeah, really good. And then you can end up, you know, casting a Hellstar for free, and this is crazy. Moving on, we have the Green Knight. So Green Knight, you know, a big damage sponge, really. Really problematic for your opponent when it comes up. And then on death, striking target nearby enemy is also really strong. It's only a 3 power minion, but being 7 defense makes it a wall basically. And L-Star. So I haven't got to play L-Star yet, despite having probably a dozen games with this list yet. So I can't really tell if it's as good as I think it is, but having a minion that has airborne and it's just basically hovering around the board like this, damaging everything. I can't see why it wouldn't be good. It's obviously better if you can cast it for free. So if it comes off the Mother Nature ability, well, you're winning. But yeah, I really like that sort of effect. If you give it a movement spell like Blaze or Mad Dash or something like this, and then you just send it on your opponent's side, it's really going to do some damage. And being sticky as it is, and if you send it on your opponent's side of the realm, it will really do some damage. So that's it for the minions. So moving on the magic now, 24 magic. We'll start with 3 firebolts. Doesn't target, unfortunately, but still good. 2 gift for the frog. It's really good to have a 1 power body that you can sacrifice or shapeshift, or just basically chump if you want as well. If you need to, you know, put a body between your avatar and a powerful minion. And obviously drawing a card is what you want out of this. Same for Gifted Serpent. You could give lethal to a smallish minion and then send it against something problematic and draw a card as well. Obviously very good. Mad Dash is here because we have a Pathfinder in our collection as a mask. Giving Pathfinder more movement is really good. If you have to play it when it's not next to a void or a rubble, you can give Mad Dash, and then that +1 movement will make sure his ability works on next turn. And you get to draw a card as well. So basically all these spells there are card draw. We have 1 polymorph as well. Return to Nature. Really good against Archimago, Flamecaller, or even Death, because really you get to draw a spell too. So good cantrip. Blaze, so same as Mad Dash, really. Gives +2 this time and then does some damage as well. Give this to your Hellstar or anything like this, and then you're laughing, really. Really good tech. Only 1 copy of this. I'm probably gonna add an extra copy of this, but I'm really having a hard time cutting anything out of the current list. So for now we're staying at 1 copy. We also have 2 Disintegrate, banish an enemy minion, no questions needed, and everything it carries as well. Could be anything really, could be the ring, could be, you know, and anything it carries basically. So really strong. Swap, so the best water card in a while. It's just so much potential in this. You could, you know, swap a minion, like let's say Lucid Dreamer in the void, swap with your opponent minion ends up in the voids and dies. As I said earlier, someone recently swapped their Torch Armor Trinket for my ring, and I thought this was amazing. So all this use case for swap makes it a must play, really. There's 3 copy of these. I would play 4 copy if it was ordinary. It's just that good. 2 copies of Infiltrate as well. Infiltrate is a must-have in any fire deck. You know, if you want to just tempo or neutralize a threat, it's one of those good cards. Moving on to Shapeshift, you could transform one of your token from Gifted the Frog, or a cat that's getting a bit, you know, underpowered. There's bigger minion on the board. It doesn't really do anything anymore. Some kobolds that don't have a target anymore for the end of the turn, and they probably have to be sacrificed or eating themselves, let's say. Yeah, Shapeshift is really good in that sort of situation. We also have 2 Poison Nova. So Poison Nova is a big reset button. Really strong. So is Flame Wave. 7 damage in 1 column is huge. You can hit different minion. Really like that sort of spells, and Major Explosion as well. Being 2 steps away keeps you out of the explosion, and then 7 damage usually get rid of a lot of big threats from your opponent. So this is it for the magic. We'll go on the sites now. So Double Treasure Land have been introduced in Gothic, which is huge. It gives you the opportunity now to play all those expensive minions that you were, you know, probably cutting off your list before Gothic. So I run 3 copies of the fire one, which is active volcano. Also have an arid desert, good for targeting, so ward gets, you know, popped with the deserts. We have 1 autumn river, just a bit of, you know, top deck manipulation, could be good with Mother Nature. If it comes up more often, I might add another 2 copies, but for now just the 1. Next up we have Babbling Brook. Babbling Brook is Genesis until your next turn, minions are disabled while atop nearby sites. Really good for tempo, really good to keep things still while you're building something, you know, while you're building another. Really good to keep things still. Really like that site. We also have Deep Sea, so double threshold land, double threshold site for water. Okay, Elder Ruins. So sacrifice a minion here and cast a Shoggoth. Submerge here from your collection. Could be, you know, sacrificing a frog and ended up with a 5 power minion. So it's pretty strong. The fact that it is casted Submerge is a bit of a downside. So it might end up being cut eventually, but for now I'm leaving it in there. Fields of Camlin, good board wipe. You get to keep 1 minion as well. We also have Garden of Eden, has earth and water threshold, and players can draw more than 1 spell each turn, so it houses sorcerer straight away, really strong. Another unique site, Gilman House, 4 water threshold, transform a minion here into an horrible hybrid from your collection. This is really good because it doesn't say it doesn't have to be one of your minion. So let's say you have, I don't know, a lot of lies from your opponent on this side. You could transform their minion into an horrible hybrid, effectively halving the power. It also works with, you know, your minion. So if you have a frog token from your gift the frog, you could turn your little, you know, 1 power token into a 3 power minion. So I really like that side. To me, it's very underrated. There's a lot of different ways to use it. Also have Helm Lost. So I'm a bit on the fence with this one, but I think it could prove of use. You may play this to replace any player's elite or unique site under their control. Same as Asmodeus, if you have your opponent play maybe a smokestack or something really problematic for you, just play a Helm Lost and then get rid of their site. Innsmouth Dock, another unique site, water as well. Once on your turn, you may lure an adjacent minion to step here. Force movement in water is really strong. It's like a bit of overlap with Koenigsi. Really like that as well. We also have 2 Kelp Caverns, so for some deck manipulation, you look at the 3 bottom spells and get to put 1 on the top of your spellbook. Really good. Molten Maw, double fire threshold Genesis. You may cast a Hellhound from a collection. Hellhound and hybrid being both 3 power minion. That's pretty decent. Oasis, double threshold. River of Blood. I only have 1 copy of River of Blood because I haven't seen many people playing Divine Healings or Ring overall, so I'm leaving it at 1 copy for now. So I'll read River of Blood. All healing is halved, rounded down, so yeah. Hoses, Divine Healing, Ring. Really strong overall. Another river in River of Flame, so Fire Spellcaster. We have 2 Stinging Kelp. So Stinging Kelp is a bit hard to work around, but it's probably better in Motor Water Shell, obviously, but it also works in this list. Ordinary site as Genesis is deal 1 damage to each minion and target site in this body of water. So it does hit your minion, but it casts a wide net in the body of water. So you can end up having, you know, multiple ward being popped, or, you know, getting rid of small tokens like skeletons and all that sort of stuff. So I think it earned that spot in the list. We also have a tap pull. Just because having frog tokens, 3 of them, is good fodder for, you know, shapeshift or chomp, and it's really good overall. Or could be used for the next site, which is Temple of Moloch. So once on each player turn, they may sacrifice a minion here to gain 2. So you could sacrifice your frog tokens to gain 2. Really good. Works for your opponent as well, but if you have that in your back row, chances are you'll benefit way more than your opponent will. Also have 2 thin ice, so we went over it with the Koenigsee and the force movement. It's just really strong. It really works this season with Koenigsee and all the connecting river tech that we have. Really good site. 1 Vesuvius, my all-time favorite site. I will always play in Fire Shelf. I will always play in fire decks like this. It's just really good. Popping it out of nowhere to finish a big minion or just get rid of several little ones is just really strong. And we're finishing off with Vindictive Nation. Vindictive Nation is a bit of situational side, obviously, but the potential of inflicting 7 damage to your opponent free of cost is just too hard to pass. Like you can't not have that. You know, the land destruction is prevalent in Gothic, and if you punish your opponent destroying your own site by losing 7 life, they'll really think twice about doing it. So it acts as a blanket protection for your own site and as a small threat too, because just by modifying it, which, you know, could be popping the ward or anything like this, or moving it with an earthquake, they will lose already life, which is really strong. So that's it for the sites. This is pretty much it for this deck. I will most likely be playing it in the season 10 of the league, so the list will be made public as well after the video is recorded and published. Feel free to comment and then let me know if you would have swapped any card for others, or if I made any mistake in my explanation. This is a really fun deck to play, a bit of a toolboxy deck. You have an answer for everything. It is not overpowered in the current meta, but it's really fun to play with, having different abilities coming out of the blue like this. If you liked the video and then you found any relevant information, I would really like you to subscribe, like and comment under the video, push my videos to a wider audience, and I'll catch you on the next one.